Hi guys, and welcome to the channel. So what you're seeing is a card game I've made, drawn by hand, yeah. So if you're a guy who loves Dungeons and Dragons, elements or magic, or even if you watch anime, this is the card game for you. Now, let me tell you about all the elements in little details. Starting with the primary elements, we have fire or pyrus, water or aqueous, earth or geos, air or ventus, electric or voltus, metal or ferrous, and mine or cycus. So every element has their own specialities. Like the fire element specializes in single target high damaging output. The water element specializes in healing and controlling the field. The earth element is a defensive option. It specializes mostly in shielding and taunting and stuff. The air element specializes in drawing or removing cards from opponent's hands. The electric element specializes in small damage but AoE damage. The metal element is the most normal element. If you have played Pokemon or you have played any other card games, this is the only element which reacts with every other element in this game, even with the forbidden elements. I'll tell you later about this. As for the mind element, it plays with the enemy's mind, as you can tell, or with the enemy's hand. Well, yeah. So, mind is the most terrifying element here, not by power, but it has the ability to take opponent's cards or buff your own cards, or there are a lot of things I'll tell when I'll explain the mind cards to you. So these are the primary elements. And then we have forbidden elements, which are light, dark, and time. I'll show you in a minute. So these are the light cards, these are the dark cards, and the time cards. These cards do not react with any other element, not even among themselves, except with metal, which I told you already. I'll explain it later on in another video or something. Moving on. So we have power dynamics among the primary elements. I've made this power wheel. I call this a power wheel. So a arrow going away denotes strength and an arrow coming towards denote weakness. So in this case, water beats fire and earth beats water. Water beats fire because it's common sense, right? It put down fire. Yeah. And earth beats water because earth is hard rock and water is just a fluid. And electricity beats earth because it's fast, and the earth magic users won't even have time to block it, maybe. Yeah, yeah. And air beats electricity because insulation, and fire beats air because it makes air rise, and the air wizards won't even have air to attack the fire wizard. Yeah. Also, there's metal, which do not reacts with any. You cannot say react. It reacts with every element. It is not superior to any element or even inferior to any other element. It's just there. And also, metal is the weakest element. If you see the cards I've made, you can tell like metal has the lowest damaging cards in the game. But yeah, it do not beat any element and it doesn't get beaten by any other element. And then there are forbidden elements such as light and dark, which cancels each other when played simultaneously because it's common sense again. And then there is time and mind, which have no strength or weaknesses. Now it's about damn time to tell you about the secondary elements. So these are all the secondary elements. We have 10 secondary elements, starting with the poison or venereous, denoted by a green background, magma or magmas, denoted by a brown background, plasma or energies, denoted by a pink background, sky or space or cosmos, denoted by a lavender background, nature or dendrous, denoted by a very light green background, mist or vaporous, denoted by a gray background, a very light gray background, ice or cryos, denoted by a sky or very light blue background, gravity or gyros, denoted by a purple background, sand or silicus, denoted by a orange background, and finally the sound or vibrous, denoted by a deep gray background. These are the elements formed by mixing of all the primary elements, such as the poison cards, are made by fusion of fire and water. And you can see in the card up here that I have stated what they are formed by. All the elements I have in the top right corner, I have mentioned them. So there won't be any problem when playing. The poison is a mixture of fire and water. Just don't think of it as fire and water doesn't form anything. Think of it like it's a water which is dangerous, such as fire. So fire and water makes poison. Then there is magmas, denoted by fire and earth, and it's pretty much self-explanatory. And fire and electric makes plasma because it's very hot, hotter than electric and fire combined. Then there's sky or space, made by fire and air. The nature element is, as you can tell, formed by earth and water. If you combine earth and water, you get tree. First you get mud, then you get tree. So yeah. For mist, it's water and electricity, because if you pass electricity in water, vapor is formed, and so is mist. Mist is vapor. And then there is cryos, the ice, formed by water and air. Self-explanatory, I presume. Then gravity, formed by earth and electricity, because geoelectricity. Yeah. And sand, formed by earth and air. It's yeah, self-explanatory again. And then there is sound, which is air and electric. So if you fuse two earth and water card, you get a poison card. If you fuse two earth and water card, you get a nature card. Now let's talk about the metal element. Remember the element I've told you about, which reacts with every other element and is the weakest out of all of them? Yeah, so it's the metal element. So metal element reacts with every other element in this game, but doesn't form anything new. It just stays as it is. It even reacts with the forbidden elements, I'll tell you in later. So the metal reacts with fire and forms metal fire, which is denoted by a half red and half gray background. Then metal water, half blue and half gray background. Metal earth, half green and half gray. Metal air, metal electric. You can see it forms no new interaction, but still reacts with the element. Also with the forbidden elements, such as metal light, metal dark, metal time, and metal mind. Even though mind is a primary element, it doesn't react with any other element above, but it reacts with metal. So these are the metal intermix cards I've made. I'll show you all of them in a later video. Let me end the video by telling you how this game works. So there are tiers of cards in this game. So there are tier 1 cards. So these are the tier 1 cards. Every primary element and forbidden elements has tier 1 cards, such as the fire has only one tier 1 card, which is fireball. Water has splash. Earth has shield. Electric has zap. Air has wind slash. Mind has steel. Dark has grave bond, which is a unit. I'll tell you what a unit is in a later video. Light has fairy. Time has guardian. And metal has two tier 1 cards, which are dagger and buckler. So if you fuse two tier 1 cards, you get a tier 2 card, such as if you fuse a fireball with another fireball over here, you get a tier 2 fire card, which could be a flamethrower. And if you fuse two tier 2 fire cards, such as a flamethrower and let's say the dragon's breath, you get a tier 3 flame card or fire card, which is the fire dragon. And again, if you fuse two tier 3 fire cards, then you get a tier 4 fire card, which is the ultimate card and is the boss of the element. But I'll tell you about this in any other video. So that's the basic of this game. That's how we play it. And yeah, these are the cards. If you like the video and if you like what I'm showing you, feel free to drop a like and comment down what you liked about this game. If this video gets enough appreciation, I'll make separate videos on every element showing you every cards. Let me tell you this. This is not a game you can find in the market. It's very different from other card games. It's not even a TCG which you can buy. This is a game where you are a wizard battling another wizard using different elements, spells, and units. If you want to beat your opponent, you have to think one step ahead of him. Which spells to use, which cards to fuse, and which units to use and when. So if you want more, you know what to do. And this is it for this video. Bye bye. Alexa, say goodbye to everyone.
Goodbye.